as you can see on the running board here, these black parts get dull, and after a few years, no matter how many times you clean them, they just don't get quite that black that they were when they're new. And again, it gives an aged look to your vehicle. And so what we're going to work on today, this is a real simple, quick video on pulling these little black parts off, cleaning the chrome up, and putting them back. Now, as you can see, these come off pretty easy. I'm just popping them off from the back like this. And they'll just work them up. And any kind of pry tool, flathead screwdriver, anything, just pop it up there. Boom, comes off. As you can see, it's dirty. And of course, while this is off, I'm gonna wash it up. The end cap's a little trickier on these. You gotta kind of work these out. There's a little metal clip, just kind of, there you go, work it back and forth. And there's going to be this little metal clip on the inside, like that. The little retention clip, you can just put it back on when it pops out, and there you go, and that just slides back in when we're ready. And you can do the same with this one, obviously, just like the one before. I start from the inside there, and I just get my hands in there and it pops right up. And these running boards are a GM accessory. They're actually genuine GM parts, so they're going to be really well made. You can see on the back it'll say GM on them all, so it's going to be a good quality plastic that's worth keeping and painting. That just pops right off, and then we'll go to the paint part. All right, I got everything clean with just detergent and water, washed it up. You'll notice there's going to be little lines right here. You know, if that bugs you that much, a little bit of lacquer thinner will get it about as clean as it'll get. That's what I'm going to use on it here in just a minute. And of course, if you can, just bring your parts inside and sprawl them out on the kitchen counter. Fill the sink with soapy water. And just take your little arts and crafts inside, get it all cleaned up in there. And the wife always loves it, of course. All right. Now I got some examples of some products here, and also have the pieces sitting out after they've been thoroughly washed. And can't emphasize enough the importance of cleaning things really well. Even when they look clean, there's really a lot of oils and greases, even waxes that can be on them. And some of these products can help remove that before you paint. But just simple washing them with detergent and water will do wonders. This is some of the products that are out there. SEM is my personal favorite, and that's what we'll be using today. And I'll actually be using this their plastic and leather prep, and I get amazing results with that. I never have any issues with paint when I use that. And today on the SEM product, there's a trim black, and there's also their bumper coater. I think on these pieces I could use either one, since it's fairly rigid plastic on this. I think a trim black will work fine, which is what I'll be using today. The bumper coater will probably be more for flexible coating, but I think either one would actually work well. And I specifically like when I use their bumper coater, the Honda Black. That color I've used on Chevy truck trim parts, and it looks nice. Some other products out there, Rust-Oleum, Home Depot, you can get, now they have it for cars, paint for plastic. I don't know how long they've had it for cars, but it's a new product I saw at Home Depot. And Duplicolor, of course. O'Reilly's, AutoZone, you can find Duplicolor for sure. Rust-Oleum, I think you can only get at Home Depot still. I'm not 100% sure. But I still find SEM products to be really much better. You can get those, you really can't get those in any auto supplies. You can get them at auto body paint supply. Anywhere that sells paint supplies for body shops will have it. And just go in there and you can buy stuff even if you don't have an account. You know, they're more than happy usually to just sell to any walk-up business. And SEM usually always has a display in a body shop supply place. English Color here locally is the one I use. They're always very helpful. Now, when I clean the parts with the plastic and leather prep, I just get a paper towel and pour some on it and then just wipe it all over it. That's pretty much it. If it bothers you or you're worried, get disposable gloves and put those on before you do it. That's probably something I should do, but you know, if you're worried about any chemicals and so forth, definitely get the disposable gloves. All right, this is the paint we'll be using. I have everything is set here. I got the surface prep, the SEM surface prep, everything cleaned up. And I'm going to do the flat parts first. We'll do the end caps next. And always take the time to read the instructions on your spray can. They're all different, or usually different. This recommends 2 to 3 coats, and then 3 to 5 minutes medium wet coats. Most paint will do like 1 light coat and then 10 minutes between coats. So try to follow that. You'll get the best results if you do what they recommend. And also too, down here, when you start painting, you don't want to start from the top when you're painting something if you have edges that you want to get. You want to start painting the edges first, and then the edges here, and then get all your edges done. And that way you don't get too much paint on the top part. Because if you start on the top first, when you go to do the edges, you're going to get too much on the top and possibly have running or just too much paint. When I'm painting that, if these parts are this close together, you don't even have to let off the nozzle sometimes. Just long, general back and forth like that. That gives your best results. If you start going like this, sometimes that's not really totally necessary. If you just go strokes like that, we're getting the sides first. And see, with getting the sides, any of the overspray on the parts is actually helpful because we're going to have to paint that anyway. So just start. Try to do kind of just slow. All right, this is 2 coats, and it looks like it has good coverage. And so I'll just stay with 2 on there. I'm not going to do a 3rd coat. Okay, now we're going to start putting everything back. I've let everything dry for about 4 hours. That should be fine. As far as handling it, probably let it dry overnight. On the end caps, this little metal part, if it comes out, there's a little hole it guides through, but just don't leave it like that. It has to snap all the way in. There'll be little ridges right here it has to go past. And then it's ready just to slide in. And these can only really go one way. And so you just make sure that's in there. There you go. And then this is the same way. It's just going to pop down in there. And this steep side right here would be in the front. And then you just push it down. Just pop right in. Like that. Sometimes you have to knock a little bit. And then the other one, same way. Got it backwards. Like that. And you can see it just pops right back in place. Very easy. And then this one does the same thing. Make sure your metal part is in place. You literally just hit that. And then check all the gaps here. If there's any gaps on any of these, just push it down and listen for the pop. And that is it. Okay, here's the finished product. Nice fresh paint on here. Definitely gives it a new look as opposed to the dull black color. And just remember, you can also do the same process on anything on the truck. The handles, which this one, if you notice, is starting to lighten up. The side mirrors, or anything else, the same paint, procedures, pretty much everything. Even your back bumper. This back bumper has been replaced fairly recently, so obviously I'm not going to do anything to that. Thank you for watching my videos.